welcome to Tangling Along with me. We are continuing on tanglepatterns.com, and today it is this pattern that we're going to do. So let's open up the book and find the page that we are working on, and it's right here. It's turning out beautiful. I'm just gonna put my tools a little more to the side here so I can be here. Anyway, this is kind of another grid tangle, and I might put it in here because I got a lot of room in there. So I'm just gonna place my book so it's placed really nice for me. I'm gonna make this grid here fairly big. And it looks like I'm soon going to have to take me a new Micron PN. That is what I'm using here, Micron PN in black, because this one is kind of dying on me. Yeah. I just have to draw a tiny bit slower than I normally do. And it's around a little more than a finger, so I think I have the grid right there. Let me just turn this around a tiny bit. And I'm gonna make the grid in the opposite direction here. And I'm using my finger as a guide for the width of my grid. Whoops, and back. And you need this one to be a bit more bigger in the size, because there's going to happen a lot in this one. So let's start with one of these boxes. I'm just putting in a cross like you see here, and then kind of the bale shape around that. Then I'm going in here and making kind of this shape. I'm starting off to the side, going in over and making a orb at the top. I found it to be easiest this way. And then we need to go in here and put in auras in between here. And that's where it's so really hard if you don't have room for it. And even here it's kind of difficult to get them in there, so you can color that out. All this in between here, I might have to do that. So I'm just gonna put in some veins here in the leaves. I'm gonna do that in all of them. And you can color out this thicker border you get here. So I'm just gonna do that. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. So this is really a drama tangle. And there's a lot to do in these small squares you get. Remember to breathe and relax your hands, your shoulders. And you can stop there, or you can actually round off here. Just very little rounding off here. I'm just kind of making a little C shape inside here. And just take your time with it. There we go. That is the pattern, and we need to do that in all of these squares. So this is going to take a long time to do. I might not show everything that I'm doing here to you, because it's like a big work to do all these squares. So first I'm just gonna put in this cross here. Just doing everything at once. And this end. And don't do these bales too small, because that would be making everything difficult later. More than necessary. And then the other way around. be here, here, like that. And then this shape with a little ball on top. And on the side as well. On the top. And on the other side. I think that's it. And then we are going to make the inside aura here. I am just gonna color it out right away. I think that's gonna make it easier. So I'm just kind of thickening my lines instead of making the aura and then coloring it in. But if it's easier for you making an aura first and then coloring in, then do it like that. Doesn't really matter. And this is the place where it takes a lot of time making this. It's kind of a fragment actually, but I think it's beautiful. Could go and find a Micron 10 if you wanted to, and then use that for making these thick lines. That could actually be really good and easy, and I would have it around there. And I'm sorry if my head came into the picture. I hope it didn't. And remember, you can turn your book around so that it is perfect for the way your hand is lying and moving. I'm trying not to do that too much so that you can avoid getting seasick. Some people don't like it when things are moving around too much on the camera. So I'm just gonna continue with that in all of these boxes. And on this side here, and that's another box done. Up here, actually I want to do this line here, and then just continuing I actually think this line here would be great as well. There we go. Then down here. Still relaxing in my hands and my shoulders. I'm just enjoying what we're doing right now. My head is just all empty, and that's kind of the point of making Zentangle. It's to empty out the stress from each day and just concentrating about the next line on the little drawing that we're doing. So I'm just sitting with a very empty head. I'm just focusing on my line. Almost all the way around here. And you can always use as much time you want to on each little place here to make them just perfect for you. I like to take my time and get them just right. But sometimes I'm in a bit of a hurry, sometimes I'm not, so that depends on you. So here the veins of the leaves. And I'm just gonna make everyone in this direction first, because I find it relaxing that my hand don't need to move around too much on the paper or the book. Over here. They don't have to meet up there at the middle part. If they don't meet up, it's all fine. and then on the ones turning downwards. And if I'm too fast for you, then just pause the video, do the work, and then turn the video on again so that it fits to your speed of drawing. And then the last piece here as well. Again, you might have to turn your book to get it right for your hand. I would have done that for all 4 leaves normally, but because I'm recording, I'm trying not to. There we go. And then we need to round off these ends here. Well, you don't have to, but it actually looks pretty good when it's a bit rounded. And here I'm just gonna make one of the squares at the time. I think that's a little easier. Just taking my time. And maybe you will actually find it easier to do this with a 01 instead of the PN. And then you're very welcome to switch. You can even do it in another color if you feel like it. That's all up to you. This isn't really much of a difference, but it actually does a lot to the done picture. And I think it's very easy to see which of these I've done and which I didn't do. And the last one. There we go. So that's the pattern itself. I'm gonna take my pink Micron PN, and I was thinking of maybe coloring in these aura spots here. It's So again, just relax your shoulders, your arms, your hands, and enjoy the process of just coloring in these spaces here. And you can always go back if you find a place you didn't color in like you wanted it to be. You can even use another color if you don't like the pink. But I actually kind of like the pink here on this brown paper. I think it's beautiful. I'm just taking my time. And careful so that you don't place your hand in something you just did color, because it takes a little time before the ink is all dried up. So you don't want to smudge it all over your page. That would be annoying when you have been working really hard on a piece. There we go. So this is a very dark tangle. So I am going to take my Jelly Roll, the 08 in white, and I'm going to pop in a tiny bit of white in these top circles here, or what kind of shape you got it to be. Just a dash of white in there. To make it light up a bit. There we go. I like that. That's really pretty. So for shading, there is a lot of things you can do. I think I'm going to just place a tiny bit of graphite here on the center of the leaves. So I'm just gonna go in here with a tiny bit of graphite. But you can do it in another way if you want to. It can be pillowed out, or you can find some other element here in it that you want to shade. And you can leave it just not shaded at all if you feel like that. And I have a brand new Tortillion today, so that's nice. I always love starting with a new Tortillion. So I'm just gonna keep it around the line, nothing big here, but I'm keeping it in small circle motions over the paper. And that's all I am going to do with this tangle. I actually think it turned out really pretty. Maybe make it a bit bigger than I did so that it won't be too hard for you to do. I think it turned out really pretty. Anyway, it was this tangle right here. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching. Have an attitude of gratitude.